Hi, thanks for joining me today. I'm Judy Barber, registered dietitian. I'm the author of your 6-week guide to live best, simple solutions for fresh food and well-being. And today I'm talking about vegetables because that seems to be one of the things people tell me they struggle with the most, eating more vegetables. Most of us know we need to eat vegetables. We're just not doing it because we struggle with how to make them taste good. So today I'm making a Brussels sprout salad. I actually have two things going on today. I'm also making some homemade yogurt, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But while I'm getting ready, why don't you let me know, where are you tuning in from? Just leave a message in the comments about where you're from. I'm in Wyoming today. It's nice and sunny. It's a beautiful day. But we're waiting for spring. You know, I mentioned vegetables that people struggle with them. And in my book, I have a list of power-packed vegetables to help people figure out what vegetables are best to power pack your fork with. They should be on your fork 3 to 4 times a week. And the reason is that the plant compounds, the phytochemicals that plants create, help protect the plants from their enemies, pests and such. Well, when we eat those vegetables, we get the benefits of those plant compounds, so they in turn help protect us from our enemies. Chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, heart disease, cancer, diabetes. So that's why we want to have more vegetables on our plate more often. Today we're making a Brussels sprout salad, and I'm going to tip the camera down just a little bit to show you some of the techniques that I'm using. It's a shaved Brussels sprout salad using raw Brussels sprouts. And the reason that I'm using raw Brussels sprouts is because a lot of people find cabbage-like vegetables to be a bit bitter. So this creates a pretty mild vegetable, and it's pretty easy to do. I'm going to take a paring knife, just trim off the little stalk of the Brussels sprout, and then I usually keep a bowl nearby as I'm working with food and I'm cooking in the kitchen, but just to peel off the very outer edges of that Brussels sprout. And then on a non-stick cutting or non-slip cutting board, I'm taking my chef's knife. This is one of my favorite tools I use in the kitchen. And I'm just going to thinly slice this Brussels sprout. I think you can see that there in the video. Yeah. I'm using my non-dominant hand to hold the Brussels sprout steady, and a sharp chef's knife pushed down in a sawing motion to get this really fine shred. You'll see I'm not sawing, I'm just pushing down from toward the front, moving forward. And then I get a really nice, finely shredded sprout. I'm going to do that one more time. Again, I'm going to cut off the edge here, put it in my compost bowl, take my sharp chef's knife, and just really finely slice this. You could do this in the food processor, but I just find it's pretty easy to do right here in the kitchen. Now I've sliced about a pound of Brussels sprouts. They're in season now, and so they're pretty economical to buy them. And one thing I really like about this salad is that it keeps pretty well. Where lettuce has a lot of water in it, these cabbage-like, the vegetables in the cabbage family are a little sturdier, so they don't go bad as quickly. So I think that's a positive. I've already finely shredded a little bit of red onion. If you really like the flavor of red onion, you know, go for it and add more that you want. But I really finely sliced that just to give a nice overall oniony flavor, but it doesn't overwhelm. Now what I'm going to sprinkle in is about 1/4 cup of dried cranberries. If you like other fruit, maybe chopped apple or chopped dried apricot, you could use that. I've also made this salad with fresh pomegranate seeds. I love that, but pomegranate's not in season right now, so I'm going with the dried cranberries. I have some chopped blue cheese. This is a smoked blue, and I really like the flavor that the smoke adds in this salad. However, if you don't have smoked cheese, don't go buy some. Just know if you're shopping, it might be something you want to look for. A couple tablespoons of cheese. And then I have some chopped pecans. And I like the crunch that they add here, so I'm going to sprinkle those in. I was in Alabama last week. I gave a talk at a state nutrition conference, and my souvenir was Alabama pecans. So that's why I'm using pecans today. I've often made this with toasted walnuts. If you have pine nuts, they would work really well. Chopped almonds would also work. But today I'm using pecans. And there's my salad. So I'm going to drizzle over just a little bit of vinaigrette. This is a Dijon vinaigrette. If you want a recipe for a vinaigrette, you can find it at my website, which is livebest.info. You'll find lots of recipes, including this one. In fact, I encourage you to head over to the website and sign up for my recipe and updates. And I'll send you new recipes as I create them. You really don't want to overdress it, but there's the salad ready to go, ready to toss. You can make this several hours in advance and just keep it in the fridge until you're ready to serve it. So that's my Brussels sprout slaw, or Brussels sprout salad, shaved raw Brussels sprouts. And I posted that on the website not too long ago, and I'm surprised at the number of people who are commenting that they really like the flavor, the combination of ingredients. So I'm helping you power pack your fork with a leafy green vegetable, a dark green vegetable right there. So I mentioned I'm also making yogurt today. And the reason I make yogurt is because I just got so tired of all the plastic containers. We use quite a bit of yogurt at our house, and so I just decided to start making it at home. And it's so super simple, and because I'm making it today, I'm just kind of tagging it along with this salad recipe so that you can see how easy it is to make yogurt at home. So in my slow cooker, earlier today, I put a gallon of milk in my slow cooker. I heated that milk to 180 degrees, and I held it there for 10 to 15 minutes. That helps change the texture of the milk a little bit. So now it's going to culture easily when I add in some yogurt. So start with milk, heat it to 180, and then you cool it to 160 or 115 degrees. You really do need a food thermometer when you're working with fermented foods, which is what this is. So when I'm culturing the milk to make yogurt, the bacteria are sensitive to temperature. So that's why we need to use the thermometer. Cool it to 115. And then I've saved some of my yogurt from last week that I have in a measuring cup here. What I'm going to do is spoon in some of this cooler milk into about a half a cup of plain yogurt. You can use store-bought yogurt. Look for live active cultures on the yogurt you buy at the grocery store, because it's those live active cultures that are going to culture your homemade yogurt. So what I'm doing here is tempering. I'm taking the warm milk, remember I said it was about 115 degrees, and I'm mixing it with the yogurt. I thin it out a little bit. That's going to help disperse it in the slow cooker. I've just mixed it together, and now I'm going to pour it all in to the slow cooker. Give it a good stir so we get all that, all the culture from the yogurt that's already made. Spin it around in there, and really, that's it. I'm going to put the lid on it, and now I'm going to put this in my oven that I have the oven light on, and just the oven light is enough of a warm environment to get the bacteria in here thriving. So I'm going to put this in the oven with just the oven light on. Let that sit for maybe 6 hours, maybe 12 hours. And I'm going to peek in periodically. You don't want to watch it too much because you don't want the warm temperature to escape out of the oven. But what's going to happen is it will incubate, the bacteria start to flourish, and I'm going to end up with a thickened curd in my slow cooker. It will look kind of like a custard, and the outside will be, you'll see the whey, the liquid whey. I'm going to come back on tomorrow when I take it out of the oven, just so you can see what a finished yogurt looks like. And it is really super simple, but it has become a really inexpensive way to make yogurt because all I'm paying for is a gallon of milk. And I've reduced plastic waste dramatically because I'm not buying yogurt weekly in plastic containers. I love yogurt and I use it a lot, but I just found it easy to make my own. So as we wrap things up today, I want to know in the comments, what is it you struggle with healthier eating? I mentioned a lot of people tell me they struggle with getting more vegetables in their diet, but what is it you struggle with? And then also head over to livebest.info and just sign up for my recipes and tips. And so when I create new recipes, you'll be among the first to know. Thanks a lot for joining me. It's been fun to share some tips to bring you into my kitchen to provide some realistic food solutions. As a dietitian, I think that's my secret sauce, is providing realistic food solutions. I try hard to power pack my fork, and I'd like to do that for you too, because I really try to focus on using foods that move all of us forward. Shaved Brussels sprout salad is one example, and homemade yogurt is another. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.